Welcome to Coffee with the Claires.
We are so excited to be back. It has been ages. I've missed your face.
We were discussing this earlier and we were like, yeah, it was only a couple of months ago, and then Gavin corrected us. It was February.
No, still don't believe him.
Please tell us in the comments that he's wrong.
Have you missed us? Have you missed us? We hope you have. We are really, really excited to be back. We've got an amazing guest today.
In person.
I know. How exciting.
It's going to be great. And we have had a great few months. We've had World Photography Day.
Wow. Yeah. What did you do for World Photography Day? Put it in the comments. Let us know.
I went to see Taylor Swift.
You went to see Taylor Swift? Oh,
She
Tay-Tay.
uses OMSYSTEM.
She does use OMSYSTEM.
Just saying.
So yes, how amazing is that?
Should we say some hellos?
Let's do it. Oh.
Greetings from Stratford, Ontario, Canada. Hello.
Saul Jackson. Hello. Albuquerque, New Mexico.
All over the place today.
I love that. Arnim Seeger. I love that. These have the comments changed. Have they
have
fancy?
different colours. Yeah.
John Austin from Hexham in Northumberland. And
Susie,
just down the road.
Sunny Sussex. We haven't been outside since we got here this morning.
And Gordon from Kalamazoo.
Ooh.
I'm assuming that's Australia. Guys, I'm looking at the Australians going, never heard of it.
Where is Kalamazoo? Tell us where that is. John, good morning from Maryland, USA.
And Erd in Hungary, Lazio. Wow, we love our international audience.
Avion's joining us. Well
hey,
shot.
Avion.
Hi, Avion.
Lots of love to Lee. I hope you guys are well. We still haven't been to Anglesey yet. We need to get up there.
We need to add it to our list.
We do add it to the ever-growing list. So Claire, what have you been up to?
Well, we've had
a summer.
Summer school.
Yes.
We did a month-long from mid-July to mid-August of really great technical and inspirational content. We had Tito, who is our Spanish technical expert, and he did some amazing technical videos. And you can still catch up on all of that on our Facebook and Instagram channels if you missed anything. There's reels, there's videos on YouTube. So if you haven't seen any of it or you're looking for some tips on, we did macro.
I did GND and Live ND.
Live ND,
we did
Starry Sky.
And of course we're coming into Starry Sky season. So we are going to be starting to talk about Milky Way.
Let's do a Milky Way coffee with the Claires.
Okay. Outdoors, Gav.
Outdoors, Gav.
Gav, think about that one. Absolutely. So, we are starting to come into that fungi season, mushroom season. So you want to get your 60s, your 30s, your 90s. You want to get those ready. But you also want to think about the Starry Sky AF, which is absolutely fantastic and negates any issues you have with getting that night sky in focus, because it can be quite tricky. And we've got Milky Way coming. Not going to be long for Milky Way, another couple of weeks. Yeah. For the UK, for this sort of hemisphere. So it's all very exciting. In fact, when you think that summer's the best actual time to take pictures, I think autumn's the best time.
Yes.
Or fall, depending on where you are
in the world. Yes.
And you love autumn, don't you?
I do. The colours, mushrooms, we're going to go out shooting. Yeah. I'm moving house. I can't do that.
So let's talk about our guest.
Okay. But first...
Go on then, first. Have I missed something?
Yeah. We've forgotten to call Gavin out on what happened yesterday.
Okay, do that.
It's a very important part that we do before we bring on our incredible guest. We have to call Gavin out. If any of you got a notification yesterday that said, we are live, and you got to see this lovely view...
For
45 seconds. That was Gavin's fault. We're very sorry. So we hope that you've all made your way onto this link and joined us. And forever, we will mess with Gavin for this.
Yes.
He also has the power to switch us off. So no, it's not Gavin's fault at all. We love Gavin. Our guest.
Let's talk about our guest.
She's all the way from Australia.
She's amazing.
She's a fantastic photographer.
Mentor.
She has been on Coffee with the Claires before.
Long time ago, but we actually got to meet in person, which is always amazing. It's so much nicer when you can get guests.
Yes.
And you actually have a chat beforehand. You get to eat a sandwich and have a cup of tea.
We had scones.
We did have scones. Claire made scones, which was amazing. And this absolutely wonderful photographer has been an O ambassador for quite a while. So we're going to get her on to have a chat in a minute.
We are Gavin. Roll VT.
Roll VT.
the sofas, coffee with the Claires.
It is so lovely to be here and in person.
Finally. Oh, well, we followed you for ages, obviously. You're an amazing ambassador. And you are so well loved across the communities. Everybody always raves about your images. You know.
I love being part of the OM System family. It's
Good.
so nice. And
That's
everyone's
amazing.
always
And
so
we had a
lovely.
lovely video from you for summer school as well,
Yes.
which was fantastic. I mean, your photos are, and you've done so much travelling recently. It's amazing.
This year's been pretty hectic.
You're never in Australia anymore.
No, I know. I was for the last 2 years. I did a whole road trip around the country. So I'm making up for the overseas travel this year.
So you're away for how long this time? Because you just come back from Finland, right? You just come
from Greenland, actually.
From Greenland.
Yeah, I just had a photo tour in Greenland.
Yes.
So,
and how was that?
yeah, it was gorgeous. Yeah.
Have you been before to Greenland?
Yeah, so I went in summer in 2019.
Okay.
Then again in winter in 2020, just before the
And
border
what are you
shut down.
photographing
So, yeah.
there? What's the sort of aim? Is there
Glaciers
specific?
and icebergs. I'm a little bit obsessed with ice. All
I've
things
seen
ice, the
photos.
patterns, the shimmeries, the just everything. Yeah.
Your pictures they are incredible. And if you don't follow Lisa,
Yeah, you should.
her Instagram thing is on the bottom there.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow because her photos are absolutely incredible.
And I love messaging people, so feel free to send a message.
Oh, that's
questions.
good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Yes, and if you have any questions as we go along, please put them in the text.
Yeah.
And then Sam will shout and put the question on the screen, and we can ask Lisa directly, which will be amazing. So, tell us a bit more about Greenland before we move on, because they're building 2 or 3 new airports, I hear, so that more people can come in.
Yeah, especially in Ilulissat, which is where we just were.
Right.
It's next to the big ice fjord, so it might get a little bit hectic, which is, I'm not sure how I feel about it.
But it's better to go now.
But yeah, and there's so many places though that you can go north and get away from the main centre. So we actually spent 3 days up sleeping next to Eki Glacier, which is about 4 hours by boat north.
Right.
And that's just incredible because you can hear the rumble and you can just, it's so good.
So
And it takes
excited.
so far.
I think I'd be
I'll take you guys next time. We'll do a little trip.
Greenland. Greenland has always been one of those places because not many people have been there.
Yeah, it just
and
feels
so
so
you know
special.
for sure that you will get images in 10 years' time. Everyone will have been, or lots of people have been, but you know it's more expensive at the moment. But if you can go, I think I've said it before on a couple of lives that it's definitely on the hit list to go.
The fresh air up there is just so nice.
We'll talk to the
We'll talk to the bosses. We'll have to see if we can talk to the bosses somehow and get that in the plan.
Yes.
So, Lisa, for the audience at home that haven't met you, tell us a bit about you, your photography, your journey with OM System.
Yeah, well, I'll start with the journey. So I've been using OM System since 2017. I was living over in Europe at the time and switched and had like a bunch of trips to Iceland and things planned. So I wanted kind of a rugged camera, and everything I was using was really hurting my back at the time because I did a few years of wedding photography and that kind of hurt my back. So I switched over and did a few trials and just love it. So I've been shooting working professionally for about 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I started out in journalism as a journalist actually. Yeah. And then the editors started appreciating my photos more than the words. So it was a bit more fun in the end to just switch over.
Yeah. And was that in Sydney?
No. I was living in Dublin at the time.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was working for Lonely Planet and just a whole bunch of different magazines and just kind of had the travel bug from very early on. So
nice.
Yeah.
It's so nice if you can combine the writing, the photography and the travel. It's almost like the dream job, right?
Yeah, it's nice and easy to describe things when you then share the photo, but sometimes I like to just let the photo
speak for itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sometimes there's no words really that can describe some of the landscapes. Are they sort of a bit breathtaking in that way?
Definitely.
Oh, fantastic.
So
And tell us your favourite kit that you're using at the moment. We usually do a thing, don't we, where we're like, one camera, one lens, you've got 10 seconds, you're running out the door.
Yeah,
What
easy.
do you
This
grab?
one. I brought it with me today. Yeah.
Guess what? Lisa's part of the 40 to 150 2.8
prepared.
Appreciation Society.
Always 40 to 150.
That's great. I mean, it is probably one of our best lenses in the
So
lineup
versatile.
because of the versatility and the brightness.
Yeah,
and
it's
everybody
funny.
raves about it.
And we spoke a lot recently on a video that we did about landscapes with telephoto lenses, and you do so much landscape with a 40 to 150.
Yeah, and you start to see different images within the landscape. Like it's kind of like having a little binoculars attached to your camera, so you can look around and see different elements and things.
And things like layers. We talked about this before. With the longer lens, you can get those gorgeous depths and layers. That
just build it upon each other once you start peeking through trees and everything.
And we're always talking about, a friend of mine's just away at the moment, and we're always talking about wide for the skies because you think, you need something. But actually taking the longer focal lengths makes you change how you sort of take the landscape really.
Yeah, it's funny. I think like when I first started using, well, just photographing in general, I loved the wide angle landscape.
Yeah.
So I was just always about the wide angle. And then over time, it's just progressed that now it's just details, tones, textures. Just,
Nice,
can't
nice.
get it.
Yeah, and I love the theme of your Insta because you've got that. You've got a style,
Yeah.
and it's really
beautiful.
It
Really
really
is.
is
Oh,
beautiful.
thank you.
As I said, we've just put the Instagram links up there. But if you haven't checked out Lisa's Instagram page, you can see Lisa's got a style, and it is beautiful. How do you come to that style?
It's funny, a lot of people ask me that, but it just feels like I'm just drawn to certain things, so I photograph
okay.
them, and then that's my style, I guess.
You can just see
But
the tones and everything, can't you? Beautiful, like
I
Yeah.
love colours.
Yeah, it's
I love
fantastic.
playing with colours and
Yeah.
learning leaves and framing.
Even like
and-
your Africa stuff.
Yeah.
It's got a very similar kind of
Yeah.
Agreed.
look to it, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think golden hour and just
Yeah.
beautiful soft light is
Yeah.
what
Do
I
you prefer
enjoy.
golden hour or blue hour? What's your favourite?
Oh, definitely golden. Yeah.
Really?
Sunrise,
so,
sunset.
I'm not a morning person. I wish
Right.
I was because those photos look just beautiful. But
Right.
yeah, no, I'm.
So we should do quick fire questions.
So we
Yeah.
just have.
Well, that was
We
it.
just added it in. Randomly add that in. So you're an evening sunset
I
rather
do like
than
sunset. Yeah,
Are you a
but
sunset?
I do it like occasionally.
If
sunrise.
someone's was going to get when we went to Pilates, I mean, we did get up at 4 a.m.
It's a bit of a
They're
stress
gonna
to get
laugh
up
about
at
it.
4.
Trip. Don't talk about that. Please.
Oh no, we just talk about the fun bits, not the bad bits. And we did get up, and the sunrise was incredible.
Yeah.
When you're high up on a mountain in Switzerland, and then all of a sudden you're woken
Yeah.
by this
Yeah.
incredible vista.
Yeah.
It does make you feel sort of quite grateful and quite
Yeah.
humble.
It's
You're
worth
sort of
getting
in
up
that.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah, occasionally.
I'm not sure I could do it every day.
No, same. Yeah.
I was woken by Claire snoring, not this
Oh,
beautiful
okay.
I know
sunrise.
what she means.
But then you got the beautiful sunrise, so
Then
it was
we
worth it.
got-
I was her alarm clock.
Yeah.
I am the morning person. I am a get up at sunrise person.
Yeah.
Tell us at home, are you get up at sunrise or
Yeah.
sunset? Let us know.
Yes, and if you do say you're a sunrise person, you need to then put your pictures up.
Yeah.
Mary Buck says, what is your favourite lens again? Mary, it's right here.
The 40 to 150 2.8.
There it is.
Yeah. There you
Beautiful
go.
lens.
It's always on my camera, ready to go.
weather
Yes.
sealed, and you use it with the converters, right?
Yes, yeah, I've been using it a lot more with the MC20 2x teleconverter, especially for wildlife.
Yeah.
It's just so handy. Like if I'm traveling in cold, I just have it in my pocket and just whip it out and put it on, and just
Away
gives
you
it that
go.
extra length. Yeah.
So tell us a bit more about your teaching and your workshops. So you do
Yeah.
workshops all year round?
No, so not much in person. So years ago, I was doing like Iceland and France, like the lavender fields, and Japan.
Nice.
Then kind of switched more to online when everybody was at home a bit more.
Right.
So that kind of grew that side of things a little bit, and it was really interesting to meet people from all around the world and just help them progress with their photography, and more so the business side of things as well as the creative. I'm not a super technical photographer. I like more the creative process.
Yeah. I think
That's great.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I help people with when they get a bit stuck with what to shoot next or how to shoot something a
That's
little
so
bit
good.
differently. So,
I
yeah.
think that's so important because as OM System, we do a lot of technical videos.
We do.
We do rely on our ambassadors more to give
Yeah.
us that sort of creative side or that
Yeah.
sort of lead into creativity because
Yeah.
we can teach the camera and the buttons and the processes
Yeah.
and the features. But obviously we're not full-time photographers, so we sort of do
Yeah.
rely on you. But it's nice that you guys can give us that,
Inspiration.
that
Yeah.
inspiration for
Inspiration
the
from
guys
Yeah.
to
I think
follow.
it's easy to get stuck in a rut creatively, and even me, like I've got my habits. They're not necessarily technically perfect sometimes, but I've got my settings for certain things and experiment on the go.
And
I
do
think that's
you have
important.
your sort of? Do you have people you look to towards the sort of to inspire you, sort of other landscape photographers?
Kind of, I love just following adventurers, like people out in the wilderness
Ooh,
doing
nice.
hikes and
Yeah.
amazing things that I probably couldn't conquer myself. I just love seeing people doing really cool things like that.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Wonderful. Question.
We've got a question.
Question.
Oh,
Stephen Holmes says, "Do you do much wildlife with the 40 to 150?"
I do actually. My first trip to South Africa, I was really surprised at how close the wildlife actually are. I had the 300mm on at the time, but had to switch it up because they were just really quite close.
Right.
But that's the benefit of the MC20 as well, because you can just reach into your pocket and hit that 300mm.
Yeah.
So,
And having a zoom helps.
Yeah, definitely, because
Yeah.
the movement, they could go in your direction.
Yeah.
So it's handy to always kind of observe the wildlife before photographing them, I find. But otherwise, you're just kind of following them. You've got to check which direction they might be heading first before you start shooting. So.
Yeah, that was totally me when I went first went to
Yeah.
Africa.
Just
We spent like 2 days just photographing
isn't it?
everything. I was like, "I need to calm down."
yeah,
Come back with thousands of the same image of in the
Four
same
images.
place.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you've got any more questions, please put them in. We will continue in talking.
Shall we take a look at some images?
Shall we? Let's do it. Okay, Gavin.
He's prepared.
He's prepped over
He's
to
got
you.
this.
Wow. Okay.
This is where
talk us
Claire and
through
I
this.
just go, oh,
So I don't ever
Yeah.
look at the images beforehand. I always
okay.
like to
Be
not.
surprised.
Yeah, like to see. So where is this?
This
And
one's
is it shot with
in-
the 40 to 150?
I think it is actually, yes, of course. This is in New Zealand. This is Mount Cook, Araki.
Wow, isn't that
so,
gorgeous?
Yeah,
Add it to the list.
that was a very interesting sunset because there was gale force winds.
Wow.
We were planning a big hike, but ended up just doing a little short hike to the marine to look over. We actually turned to walk back to the car park because sunset was a bit of a fizzer. It just was really grey. But then we noticed this pink glow as we were heading back down and turned around, and that's what was behind us. This was like within 2 minutes it was pink and
Whoa.
and then it just disappeared again.
There's so many times where you can wait. So shall we wait? Shall we wait? And actually, if
Yeah.
you can wait as long as you
Yeah,
can, just for
exactly.
that final moment.
Yeah, but the peak wasn't even visible before this moment as well.
Oh,
It was just
wow.
clouded completely, and then it just...
And then was it gone
appears.
again afterwards?
Yeah,
so you had
really
like
quick.
a
That
tiny
second cloud
window.
there just
I
came
can
straight
see it
over.
coming in.
Yeah,
But how? So that's literally a moment in time, like you say. You
It's like
sort of
I don't even think I checked settings. I just
go for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just quickly
Yeah.
took photos. We managed like a 3-second video, I think.
And that was it.
It was just important to get the shot.
And what are your
in.
settings?
Yeah.
What sort of settings are you using for this?
Oh gosh, I don't even think I can remember.
reckon
Like
Okay.
it would have been on
Scalpel
f2.8. I think it was no. I didn't send through the data for this one.
We're going to go with 2.8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would have
2.8.
definitely been.
Ah,
Oh,
Neil
thank you,
Grant.
Neil.
Hi, Neil.
Oh, hi Neil. How are you? We were only looking at pictures of a picture of you took of me and Claire at the Scottish Fashion Awards a little while ago, which is amazing. So lovely to see you, Neil. Thanks for joining. So next shot. Let's have a look. Oh, babies.
Yeah, fluffy little baby zebra.
Where's this?
This is at Bushman's Kloof in the Cedarburg region of South Africa.
Okay.
We were out on a little morning safari drive, and I find safaris really relaxing. Like I just sit in the car with the camera ready to go, the sun's on you,
Yeah,
driving around,
it's
and
amazing.
I may have yelled very loudly, "Baby zebra!" to make the guide stop really quickly. But yeah, he was apparently less than 2 days old. So when you zoom in, like he's really still fluffy and kind of has really loose skin.
Absolutely.
And his ears were all floppy.
Look.
But
Yeah,
he doesn't look 2 days,
he
do
was
they?
so
Look
sweet.
amazing.
Yeah.
They're so well formed, even though he's only 2 days.
Yeah,
Wow.
and he was really good at walking as well. I just couldn't imagine. Yeah.
Nice little bit of backlight there under his face, which
Yeah.
is gorgeous.
And I
God,
also
that was
like this
beautiful.
foreground here,
Yeah.
this blurry foreground.
Slightly
Yeah.
blurry foreground is lovely. Just give it a bit of framing and composition is
Yeah.
gorgeous.
I may have been hanging out the side of the car to get that foreground.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
Again,
No.
with the little with the flip screen open so that I could,
Again.
Jane Goff's is
Yeah.
too cute.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks,
very
James.
I also like the bum of the
Yeah, the mum, yeah.
here as well.
The bum of the mum.
Yeah.
yeah. I got a little series, so there's them standing together with their heads facing the same way, but I liked the little, safety of the bottom tuck.
Yeah, I love it.
Lovely.
Oh, that's
Very
amazing.
cute. Yeah.
Okay, next shot, please, Gav. Ooh, nice. I
I
love the difference.
love all the different images that we're getting.
Yes.
It's nice. It's like, what's next?
Change of lens here, though. We've gone for a 1240.
12
we have. Yes.
Yeah, loving
Another
it.
stock lens. Yeah.
Yeah, so this one's in Patagonia, actually earlier this year. This is a waterfall. It's kind of quite a big river system that goes through near in Torres del Paine National Park. And I just love photographing waterfalls, especially with the live ND filter. So
Ah.
yeah,
Yes.
I just stand there for ages playing with it and experimenting with the
Yes,
different
right.
patterns of
I
flow and-
absolutely love
It
it.
is such a great
Yeah.
photo.
Honestly, I just cannot believe that technology can.
Yeah.
Every time I use it, I still think, wow, you used to have to take so much kit for this
Yeah.
feature.
Yeah.
Well, I was always I never bothered really with
No.
lenses because I just didn't like the fiddly bits, and I have gloves
Yeah.
on and just
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
clumsy, so I drop things. So
Yeah.
it's really handy.
It's absolutely beautiful, and again, the
Yeah.
light across the top
Yeah.
is gorgeous.
Yeah, well,
It's
just
the
above that
tones.
ridge actually, that was like sunlight everywhere. So
Wow.
I just zoomed in nice and tight to make sure the colours were all consistent.
Yeah.
and-
Beautiful,
yeah.
absolutely lovely,
Thank you. Yeah, it's a gorgeous spot there.
wonderful.
Spent a lot of time.
Oh, John says, do you tend to do much telemacro using the 40 to 150 to zoom in and isolate subjects?
Yeah, I love playing with aperture and kind of, seeing how that works with the scene. And I spend a lot of time experimenting while photographing. So, yeah.
Wonderful.
I do like to use it for that. Like I said, they're basically binoculars for me.
Yes,
So
well,
it's
exactly
fun to-
that.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly that. That whole thing about having wide versus longer. You can use the telephotos in landscapes all
Yeah.
the time, and it's
Yeah.
something that we're learning, or something that we're sort of trying to impart more and more and more, that you don't always have to go for the wide lenses for that type of
Yeah,
photography. It is
exactly.
about trying different lenses for different things and not sticking to that specific what you think that should be used for.
Yeah.
Got another question.
From Renata. We
On
won't. Yes.
wildlife, do you use subject recognition? So like the subject detect?
I have for the bird photography, but for the larger wildlife, not necessarily. A lot of the time I'm photographing the landscape and the wildlife are there. So I don't tend to use it for the larger wildlife, but definitely birds. It's really fun to play with
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
track them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the focus is pretty incredible.
Thanks, Renata. Any more questions? Keep them coming in. Before we go through some...
Ooh.
Gordon says, do you use custom menus?
Oh gosh, no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not really a technical person, so I just use what buttons kind of feel good as I'm photographing, and yeah.
And do you sort of stick to manual? Are you aperture priority? What's your
As you can see, yeah, I've got
aperture
that one set.
priority? So you stick with
Yeah.
aperture priority mainly?
Mainly, yeah. If I'm
Unless
shooting like
you're using
the live
live ND, then
yeah.
you've got to go
Yeah.
to sort of
To
shutter
manual.
priority or full
Yeah.
manual.
I've been experimenting a lot with the film settings.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm having fun with video a little bit.
Nice.
It's exciting.
Nice.
Yeah, don't ask me the technical questions about video, 'cause there are other people that are better placed to talk about that. But
Yeah.
no, aperture, I just find it really, it's like I said, I just
Yeah.
get stuck in habits and just switch, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it nice and easy. And I think a lot of people always, like when, especially the people I teach, ask me about manual, and they, stress that they're not using it. But I think just using whatever works for you and just
Absolutely.
developing your own workflow is
Yeah.
essential.
And
know
I
what
think
works.
with modern mirrorless cameras, the fact
Yeah.
that what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
So whether you change your exposure compensation, whether you change your aperture, your screen lightens or darkens, so
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't get a bad shot.
You can
Yeah.
see what you're getting.
exactly,
You
you
know,
see it, yeah.
theoretically, what you see is what you get. So
Yeah.
even if you don't know what you're doing, if you're new to photography, if you're new to OM system, use that feature. As I said, if the viewfinder and the screen will darken or lighten, depend on your exposure. So it is quite important that you can just play with it and not panic too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's the
Not get
panic
too
factor.
tied down
Yeah.
with the technical in the beginning, because
Yeah.
there is a lot to learn. They're massive sort of computers, aren't they? But getting that creative and the technical balance is quite...
And especially when you're going from things like wildlife to landscape.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to think too much about your manual
Custom.
settings. Yeah.
Yeah.
custom settings.
Yeah.
That's when, again, you can put custom birds on one and landscape
Yeah.
on two or something like
Yeah.
that. So
I should spend more time setting all that up, because it would
We'll
probably
do
make
it
things
next time.
easier. But
yeah,
I just,
so you don't have
Greenland.
time.
I always
Don't
think
have
about
time
it
for
too
that.
late, and then
Okay, let's have a look at another image, please, Gavin. Oh, where is
See,
this?
foreground again.
Foreground.
foreground
Style
again.
here.
Yeah,
Love the
Well, this
foreground.
is the foreground here is actually because my legs were hurting so much after this hike that I was just sitting down.
Where were you?
It was just easier to include that.
Where
here.
are you here?
This is Torres del Paine National Park again at the Mirador Bas de la Torres hike. It's about 20 kilometres return hike. There were many points
No
on
one
the
knew
way
you were
up
saying that.
that I was
Thinking,
I don't wanna say I
I'll wait
was
and see you on the
crying,
way
but-
back. Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I was questioning why my between my knees and hips wasn't working.
Well, and
I was like,
in
"Come on,
pain,
get
yeah.
me." Yeah.
Yeah.
So many people walk past me though, but I don't. Yeah.
wow.
I didn't exactly prepare for the hike. But yeah.
Listen, I went to the...
It's worth it.
I did the same early this year. We went to the Peak District and we only went up to the top and I was like, help me!
Yeah. People just walk past and like,
Yeah, they're jogging past. You're
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah,
They
you
do
do
every day.
realise that a little bit of fitness is
It does help.
required,
Yes,
right?
definitely.
It's a good thing
This
the
hike
kit's
was
so
a good
light.
humbler.
It's so true because
Yeah.
you can take water and snacks and have a little sit down and lunch,
Yeah.
lunch on the way.
Yeah, the backpack is never the issue because it's so light, but
Exactly.
the legs were the issue.
Again, this is with the 4150.
No, this is a bit wider, I think. This would
12
have
to
been
40,
12
I
to
think this
40.
one.
Ah,
yeah.
yes, okay.
Yeah.
And this is
Nice.
absolutely so. There's a big a lake there.
Yeah, this
and-
is the lake at the top of the hill. So, there was lots of ice that day, so it was quite slippy. So I just sat down and caught my breath and took a few shots.
That would be me.
I had a lot of shots in mind for this that I wanted to take, but there was a cut-off point at about 3 p.m. that if
Yeah.
you don't make it past that point by 3, you should turn around and go back. And we got there about 20 minutes before 3. That's how long it took. But to be fair, the autumn foliage on
it.
the way up was so beautiful that I did take a lot of photos. So I did
Right.
stop to take photos.
Right.
But yeah, it was Yeah,
That's
it's just
amazing.
a gorgeous hike, but yeah, we needed to turn around very quickly, so I
Yeah.
had about 10 minutes
Yeah.
to photograph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, we've got another question from John. Have you had an opportunity to use live GND? It's pretty neat.
I haven't actually, not yet. I meant to use that in Greenland actually, but I was on a photo tour, so I was kind of focusing on everybody else. But I
Right.
did really want to play with it because that, I think,
It's
is
very
such a
cool.
cool feature. Yeah.
It's incredible. You've
Yeah.
used it.
I love it.
Especially-
Yeah.
Live ND, GND, I'm all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it, you know, and it's just so much fun, but it's just, I've used filters and tripods in the past, and so I know when I use Live ND how much weight and hassle I'm saving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I use it, I think this is so good
Yeah.
in comparison, you know.
And GND is really cool. You can just rotate the dials and move
Yeah.
it and touch it.
Yeah.
It's really,
Yeah.
really intuitive.
Especially if you're shooting like the minimal landscapes and
Yeah.
you're working with a lot of sky and things,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's a
Exactly.
game changer. For
We
that,
have
yeah.
another question.
Oh.
Janet says, do you ever use the 12-100 for travel, ... Is that just, that's the end of the question? I wasn't sure if there's more. Do you use the 12-100 for travel?
I don't, but my partner has that in his bag, so I have played with it a little
Ah.
bit. It's a very versatile lens, so it's
Yeah.
nice and handy to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would sit at, like, I have the 40-150 on, he had the 12-100, so it was kind of handy. A few times I did grab his camera if I was just being lazy and I'd shoot with that, but yeah, it's a very good lens. I think I recommend that a lot.
lens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it
great.
really is.
Yeah.
We were talking about, my friends have said she's gone away, and is it the 12-40 or the 12-100? Like, well,
Yeah.
if you could take both,
Yeah, exactly.
because
yeah.
one is a bit
2.8.
brighter,
Yeah.
but the image sync on one can give you the brightness that the 12-40 can give you.
Yeah.
So you're getting that
Which would you
extra
choose?
12-100.
Would you?
Yeah.
Every time? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
the image sync will give me
Interesting.
that extra stop of light if I need it.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting thing. Anyway.
The ever-going debate.
Yes, exactly.
12-100, 12-40. I have a question.
Oh,
Yes.
We spoke about Live ND and GND. We've also got handheld high res,
Yes.
which I know you use quite a bit.
landscape
Yeah, love
photographer.
that. Yeah.
Which is your favourite computational feature?
Oh, definitely Live ND.
Live ND.
Yeah, I love playing with water and movement and ice, and yeah, that's one. I even play with it just around. Like, I don't even have
Yeah.
to be in a landscape. I just love kind of
Intentional
blurring
camera
things.
movement.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
ICM photography.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
just
do
find
some
it really
really
fun to
cool-
experiment
yeah.
with.
Yeah, there's
You
going to
kinda-
be
yeah.
so many more things to use it for other
Yeah,
than
other
water.
than yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, ICM is really fun to play with because it doesn't have to come out great. It can just,
No,
you can play around and
ICM is,
experiment and yeah.
Yeah, I did a
we've got a
workshop a
little
couple of
question.
years on
Yeah.
ICM, didn't I? I must do another one.
Oh,
John
thank
Sparrow.
you, John.
I did
You
this
support
hike.
It is brutal.
Congrats.
She's not making it
Yeah,
up.
I'm not
No.
making it up.
Ah, John, good to know. Congrats. The pick make the hike worth
They
it.
do, yeah.
Yeah.
That is so good. Okay, and Janet says, and what percentage of your shots do you use a tripod?
Actually, none.
There you
that
go.
would be zero. Yeah,
Don't need
I
it.
travelled with a tripod to Greenland this time, just in case anyone wanted to borrow it in the group, but
Right.
we didn't pull it out of the suitcase.
Right.
I think that's again one of the benefits is I don't think I've travelled with a tripod for years.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's the joy of the
Yeah.
system, and
Even-
it
even
does
like-
make a
yeah.
huge difference.
Yeah, it really does. Like Astro
You know.
and Aurora.
Yeah.
I did a workshop in I think it was 2020. With Aurora, and even that I tried to shoot handheld just because it's like a fun
you
challenge.
can,
yeah,
yeah,
you can. Yeah.
I suppose Aurora's not too bad. I suppose the only time is if you need something more than that's what's hand holdable.
Yeah, exactly. Like
But
15,
then you
30
can just
seconds.
take a
or-
little mini tripod. And,
Yeah.
you know, I know people love to take tripods this tall and this wide, but actually
Yeah.
just take a small mini one and
Yeah.
stand it on a rock or something.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
are other options. Do you do focus stacking
I
for
don't, no.
landscape?
Ooh.
Again, like I said, I'm not very technical. I just like
So-
to keep things simple and
We had this little, not project, but we had this little talk earlier in the year about you can use focus stacking for landscape and you can use high res for macro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So swapping around those features and
Features.
using them
Yeah.
in different areas. Because when you focus stack, obviously in landscape, it means you get, much more in focus. You don't have to worry about apertures.
Yeah.
You can shoot much wider because normally on a landscape you wouldn't shoot 2.8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd shoot 5.6 or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you
I mean,
want,
I shoot wide open.
yeah,
yeah,
but.
same. That's what I was
Yes,
just
I
about
was
to
going to say, but there could be times when
This is
shooting
my kind of photography.
25,
25,
1.2.
1.2.
But there could be times when that isn't an option and you may need brighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you can focus stack a 5.6 image on landscape and then use a high res on a macro image. So it's about
Lisa challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
All right,
I need
we're going to
them.
email you a challenge. This week's challenge.
Yes.
Post them all over Instagram.
Yeah, I think I need it.
But have you ever used focus stacking for
Yes,
landscape?
tell us in the comments.
Tell us what you've shot. Tell us what you've been photographing. As I said, if you've seen some of our sort of weird and wonderful, I think we went through that on Ask Me Anything. I can't remember. It was one of those things we talked about, wasn't it? So yes, if you've got any questions like that, or if you have any ideas, we always love to hear them. So focus stacking in landscape. Try it.
Yes, I'm going to have to give it a go.
Try
We'll
it.
try it.
Try it.
We'll try it.
Yeah.
High res and macro.
We'll
Try
do
it.
a high-res macro next.
Yes, yes,
Right,
good.
let's do
Okay, let's have a look at the next image.
Autumn, I know.
Yes.
The
Peeking
leaves.
through the
That
leaves.
foreground again.
Yeah. Yeah,
It does make it.
it's
'cause
beautiful.
Let's take away the foreground.
Yeah.
You can see
Some
that their
rocks.
image is
Nice
nice,
rocks,
but it
yeah.
is just going to be, and
Yeah.
the colour just
beautiful.
gives you that pop and that contrast, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think particularly when shooting darker scenes, like
Yeah.
a lot of my work is quite bright and colourful, so I'm always looking for something that I can include that has that pop of colour, and autumn leaves are definitely a great subject to use.
Yes.
So
Where is this?
this is the same in Patagonia, but Mount Fitzroy, so on the
Okay.
Argentinian side. This hike, actually, we couldn't go any further up because it was icy, so I didn't have to do the hard work. We just got to the first lake for the view, which was really nice. So I was quite relaxed and could explore a bit more here. So it was really fun to play with the leaves. And
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And this was in autumn, was it, when you went?
yeah, so April this year.
Right, okay.
So yeah, beautiful time of year to visit because the crowds were less, and yeah, it was nice and chilly, so you didn't get too hot and bothered hiking.
You said your other half's a photographer as well. Do you tend to travel together?
Yeah, we travel together. He's not so much, he does video and sound a lot more.
That's
he
quite nice.
does field recordings and things, so it's fun to
Brilliant.
put his recordings to my
Yeah.
photos and videos and
Yeah,
things. So,
that's great. Great.
Yeah.
You've got a video handyman on
Yeah,
the way. That's
exactly.
really cool,
Yeah, it's
isn't it? Because there's nothing. Do you do a lot of behind the scenes shooting as well? Because
I try.
people like to see how to get that shot. Like,
Yeah.
you see the shot and you're inspired by it, but people say, "Well, how can I do that?" But
Yeah, I tried really hard in Patagonia because I'm quite shy, so I don't like to share my life on social media, but it doesn't really come natural to me to share and
Right.
You did a lot
be in front of the
um,
camera, but yeah, I really tried
Instagram,
in this
didn't
trip.
you?
So
Yeah.
it's quite fun, I think, to just take people, behind the scenes and share the hike and, how you're feeling and things, but also what gear I'm using
Yes.
and just,
very important.
yeah.
And we
Rather
love
than
this
just
image.
always the edited photo at the end, just
Yeah.
to share just some of the rougher, phone photos and things is quite nice
Yeah,
as well.
100%. As I said, people love to see the shot, but also how to get it, and that
Yeah.
inspiration is that whole journey. It's not just
Yeah.
the end
Yeah.
product.
Yeah.
We love it. Gavin, next image, please.
Do you know how many we've got? We'll just keep going.
Yeah, we'll just keep going until you say no. Oh, look at this! Is a
Beautiful.
big
Yeah,
glass.
so this
That's
is
a
again.
wide lens.
Yeah, this is wide. Yeah, so I think we've got 3 photos coming up because I stood in this one spot for maybe 30, 45 minutes because
Okay.
first of all we were waiting for the glacier to calve. Oh, thanks, Jane. I love that word, lush.
I really love that word. Beautiful shot. Well done.
thank
Thanks,
you.
Ian.
Yeah, so I stood on this platform. I'd been walking all along the trails trying to find the perfect autumn tree. There weren't too many right close to the edge, so I stood at this one, which is actually quite a small little branch in the grand scheme of things.
I was holding it up in the corner.
I just I stood there and blocked everybody. I was like, this is my tree. But yeah, we're waiting for the ice to calve, so I played with the different lenses. So this is the 7 to 14.
And have you got live ND on here, or have you just gone
No,
wide?
not this one. No, this is
Okay.
just a wide angle. Yeah, but at 2.8, so the leaves are a little bit blurry.
Lovely.
And then I think there's a bit of a tighter one as well. That one, same tree, same leaves, just with the
Slightly different angle.
40 to 150, this one.
Nice.
Yeah, and then we go even closer, I think, in a second to the carving, and that's with the MC20. So this was all, in the space of about 30 minutes, but I took so many shots because I just
It's great to
can't
see.
get enough of
Obsessed.
glaciers.
Yeah.
Yeah, obsessed is definitely the word with glaciers. I even wanted to study them. I just can't get enough.
They're incredible.
And the
Yeah.
colour.
Look at that.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
assuming lots of our viewers today have been and seen glaciers, but
Yeah.
the colour
Yeah.
when you see one
Yeah,
up
it's just like
close,
this, yeah.
there's nothing like it. The blue
Yeah.
is the most. I mean, I've been to Iceland, and
Yeah.
when they sort of float past you in
Yeah.
the Diamond Beach, you went
Yeah.
to Diamond Beach, obviously,
Yeah.
and they float past you, and you just cannot believe the depth of colour. It's
Yeah.
it's just incredible.
And the light
So-
changes it so quickly, like with
Yes.
the sunlight, the blue And then
beautiful.
it's like different shades of grey and.
So Ethan says, I see you are near ice and snow. Do you know any snowflake photography?
Ooh.
That's where I first excelled with Olympus gear and macro.
Oh, interesting. I have seen a few photographers do the snowflake photography. Was there an ambassador that did?
Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Finland.
Finland.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
beautiful. They're just like works of art. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I haven't really. I've experimented with sparkles and things like that, but nothing really too close.
Right.
But yeah, I've seen some incredible
Yeah.
snowflake photography. It's,
Yeah, absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, and again with the do you have a macro lens? Is sort of macro? I was going to
don't
say
know.
that's what I was going to say. That was going to
Yeah.
That's the next
Again,
thing.
that's I need to.
Yeah.
yeah. It's all a lot of stuff.
The list is going to get longer.
Auntie, a list is coming your way.
Today Media says, what is your post process like? Do you do a lot of post?
I don't do too much. I keep that quite simple.
Yeah.
I use Photoshop for editing. I usually just experiment with the temperature to like warm it up a little bit.
Right.
Not too much. I just like things bright and colourful,
Yeah.
but not too. Sometimes I play around a bit too much, and then you have to look at the original,
Nothing
go back
worse.
and go,
You think,
"Whoa,
what
have
have
you
I done?
Yeah,
Bring
no.
it down.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's like putting too much makeup on. Isn't it? You look like
Exactly,
you,
and then
what
you
have I
splash it
done? I absolutely, it's that whole thing. And
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of post, but again, the joy about the system is what you see is what you get.
Yeah,
And
that's
with,
right, yeah.
With nature, you want it to be as natural as possible. You want it to be
Exactly.
what you caught, not
Yeah.
this crazy sort of
Yeah.
colour scheme that just
No.
didn't exist in the first
Yeah,
place.
like never replacing skies or anything. I haven't. No,
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Against,
Lauren says, do you take spontaneously photos while walking, or do you think about your photos before planning a walk
Oh,
or a
that's a
trip?
good question.
That's a good question.
A lot of them are spontaneous. Things like glaciers, I'll have a look on maps and try and check,
Get a
what
rough
the
idea.
angles might be that I could work for, or where you need to hike to access certain points. But a lot of the time, it's just when you arrive,
Yeah.
assess the conditions and just
Right.
see what's working best. Like
Yeah.
I was on the hunt for an autumn tree at
Yeah.
this location in particular, but it did take me a while. I actually went the day before and it was really cloudy and moody, so I went back again and got the conditions that I was after. But
Yeah.
I think it's fun to be spontaneous though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, I think when you do those trips, it's a bit half and half, and it's you know where you're going, you know the sort of spots that
You
you're
know the
going to be
location.
at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it's trying to get that photography at
Yeah.
the time and
Yeah.
not to be as sort of as the same as everybody else is
Yeah.
doing.
That's the thing, like avoiding the
Yeah.
Cliches.
the cliche and the traditional
Yeah.
shots. Yeah.
Very difficult now to do
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yes.
But
That's
I still
why,
think
yeah.
it's doable. I mean, I took a picture of Vic Church that nobody else had done
Yeah.
because it was at night and in the rain. And nobody's going to go out at the
Nobody
night
goes out
and in the
night
rain
and in the rain.
to do Vic Church, and it was amazing. So you're getting lots of love out there. Lots
thank
of
you.
people. Arnim, that's a really good. What colour settings do you? So
settings?
do you keep it on a natural profile?
Yeah, I have the natural profile
Yeah.
set. I do tend to shoot a lot of landscapes using the cloudy white balance.
Yeah.
Because I find that just incorporates
Yeah.
the temperature that I'm after with my work.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think a lot of people that I teach are sick of me saying, just switch it to cloudy. Even if it's not like the right thing, it's always cloudy.
Do you find that
cloudy.
makes it a little bit more contrasty?
Oh, just warmer. Just warmer tones, yeah. Especially
Yep.
if you're working in golden hour, it just
Right.
brings out those, oranges. And
Nice, nice.
Nice and glowy.
Next picture, please, Gavin. Oh,
Back in
wow.
the desert.
What are they in they're little sort of. Where is this? Talk us through this.
This is in the Andean Altiplano of the Atacama Desert.
I was going to say.
in Chile.
I was going to say Atacama.
It was right there. It was right there.
It's so beautiful because it was just so minimal. Like you're just
Yeah.
standing there and it's like a painting before you, and it feels like
It does look
you can
like a
touch it, but everything is so far away that it's really hard to photograph in a way that feels like
Like there's
you're
depth.
Yes.
Yeah, there's not much there, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you can see the layers. You can feel the
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I would imagine this is the hardest type of landscape photography to do because it's not very contrasty either. It's quite
Yeah, especially
sort
on
of
a
flat.
like just blue sky day with
Right,
no clouds
yeah,
or anything
right.
to work with. Like this was in the middle of the day. We were photographing flamingos just before, and then we couldn't really pick the light because it was quite far from
Yeah.
where we were staying, so couldn't travel at night. So this was just probably a midday shot as well. So
Nice.
yeah, it's a
crazy
beautiful
when you say
thing to
you're
work
in the
with.
middle
though.
of the Atacama and yet there's snow on the
Yeah.
mountains.
Yeah.
You're like, in the middle of the desert.
and water
what
as well. That always shocked me when I
Yeah.
first got there. I was like, wait a second.
'Cause,
But this is quite high. This is like 4,800 meters maybe. So this
Oh,
is like the
okay.
high lakes, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
The Atacama's the hottest place in the world at some point, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, or driest.
Yeah.
Driest non-polar, I think.
I mean, it's absolutely stunning though, isn't it? Look at and you can see purples, pinks, oranges, blues, greens. I mean, you know, you think that there's not a lot of colour in it, and then when you start picking out areas,
for sure.
the colour is absolutely incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought when like going to the desert, you're just going to be shooting sandy colours.
Yeah.
But then getting here, and there's not much foliage here, but just further down the road, there's like yellows and greens and and wildflowers. Like I was just surprised at how much life there was there.
Right.
But yeah, it's nice to play with the lines, I think, in an environment like this and try and compose with.
And
leading
there you
lines
go,
and curves.
Stephen. Your question is answered.
12
it's a 12
to
to
40.
42.8.
Yeah.
The staple lens is just stunning, absolutely stunning. And as I
you.
said, it isn't until you start looking and appreciating the layer of colour that's in there.
Yeah.
From the browns and the russets and the gingers right the
These
way
at the
through.
beginning,
Yeah, it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
And you wouldn't probably believe it, but it was really windy that day.
Yeah, because
blowing
you've
in
got
gale.
8,000th of a second, which is really fast shutter speed for a landscape shot. Any reason for that?
Nope.
Do you know what? That'll do.
Yeah, it was midday.
Well, it is midday.
Yeah. It was probably, and the blue sky.
Yeah, that's going to push it up.
That's what it did.
Yeah, just checking. Wonderful.
2.8.
2.8 to shoot fast.
Next shot, please, Gavin.
These people that shoot F8.
I know.
I know.
Just-
How dare
So this
we
is why we
shoot
shoot.
F8 at
This is why we
landscapes?
shoot
This
wide
is probably
open.
why I took it with that,
This is
because
why
I've
we
taken
shoot
this
wide
one before and then I stood up and took another one.
I love this. Look at the yellows and everything in it. It's
Like
brilliant.
you
Actually,
said
I think
about
the one
plants.
before was high resolution as well.
Ah.
Might have, no, was it? No,
Gavin shaking
next
his
one.
head.
This one's the high res one, is it, Gav?
No.
No, next one.
Gav, stay with this in the background.
This
You can't
is
see
high
it.
res?
No.
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 Next one.
Oh, we love
He's
you.
checking.
So
Possibly
this
is.
is,
But yeah, that's
he's
using
gonna
the
have a word.
foreground. So that's the colour I was talking about. It's just
Yeah.
so much. It was.
wait. No,
Yeah,
we're
it
just
is.
seeing the checkerboard. That's
This
it.
is high res.
This is high res.
Yeah.
Okay.
She knew that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, this is 2.8 as well. So I
And
probably
this
took
is
this one.
handheld high res.
Yeah.
So you're getting a 50 megapixel image
Yeah.
Very
from
cool.
the sensor, which means you can
Yeah.
zoom right in. Means
Incredible. And that would have been like
Look at
hundreds
that
of metres
detail.
away,
No.
probably kilometres. It's
Yeah.
lots
just,
of detail.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is amazing detail.
And as you zoom it, as you move around the screen, it just gets clearer and clearer. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
I think I was talking with Gavin before about like the photos within a photo,
Yeah.
that once you've taken a shot and then you go home, you can kind of assess
Yeah.
and look again and say, what would I have taken if I can go back and
Yeah.
reframe it and use
So,
different gear?
the question I was going to ask, with landscape on your side, do you... So I've definitely learned in the last sort of 4 or 5 years to let things ferment. Like if you're going away on a trip,
Yeah.
great to put a couple on social, but actually let them breathe and let them
Yeah.
soak in for a few days before you go through them,
Yeah.
because it gives you a much better sort of view back on them. Do you do that?
Yeah, for sure. Especially with Patagonia, like I found it quite a lot to research and put together that trip and try and look at all the different spots I wanted to go. So there was a lot of pre-trip planning involved. And so when
Right.
I was there, I was trying to just focus on the imagery and just take everything and experience it. But then after, it was thousands of photos to go through. I was like, I need a second to just
You just need...
let it all soak in.
Yeah,
and-
so sort of, I say marinade. You need to let them marinate.
What are we cooking up here? What are we
I can't cook, so
But sometimes, I mean, especially like with the, the sort of arty stuff that you can take, the creative stuff where it's a little bit not so straightforward. I think sometimes it is better to just to walk away, do something else, and then come back to it a few days later, because you definitely do see them with different eyes. And
definitely.
I know when we go away, it's like, put something on social, put it on, but actually for the sort of top end stuff, it's just nice to just let it breathe, and I think that's really lovely.
I'm usually a few weeks behind on social media. I was trying really hard to keep up with it, but it's just so much.
Well, you want to enjoy it as well. You want to
I
do
think
the
so.
trip rather than,
Experience.
do the socials when you come back.
Yeah.
Next shot, please.
think there's the last couple.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
So again, Atacama.
Ronding around on its own, or was it with a herd?
No, there was quite a few of them. This was
Okay.
just a little one that stopped. I think it just ate some grass after this. I took a video of it, but this is either a vicuña or a guanaco. I was trying to think back on this. I'm pretty sure it's a guanaco, but if anybody in the comments can spot any features that might suggest otherwise. But so they're just gorgeous, like especially in a minimal landscape like that where there's not much else, and then they're wandering by. They're just, and their fluffy little tails.
I mean, they do
Lots of
very
little
much
tails.
look like sort of cross between a llama and
You were going to go
Disney
camel.
character.
You were going to do a llama.
llama and a camel,
Yeah.
but without the hump, right? They got
Yeah.
that whole. I'd like to see this one on my wall.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, yeah, the picture would be lovely. Do you use a polarizer in any of your shots? Good question, Mark.
No, I don't actually. No.
That's interesting.
I used to, but I just, again, I'm not too fussy with
Yeah.
accessories and things like that. So, no, I don't
I
actually.
love it.
Yeah.
I love this freedom.
So simple.
Don't take a
This
tripod.
is
Don't
it.
take filters.
We're on Aperture Pro to
Right.
wide open.
You just
Love
need
it.
camera and a lens
That is
and
it.
some snacks.
Break the rules. Break the rules. I love it. Absolutely
And this
love
would have
it.
been 40 to 150?
Yes, yes. Yeah, so this was, we kind of stopped, this is near the border of Bolivia. We just stopped there just to photograph the view actually, and this herd just wandered past really slowly, so we just sat super still
Yeah.
and
Wonderful.
just zoomed in to get this one.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're so cute. I love their eyes, they're so Disney-like.
Are they?
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Sort of big doughy-eyed
Yeah,
type.
yeah, a
Okay,
little bit
right.
like Bambi.
Right. Beautiful. Next
We're on
image.
the last image. Yes,
Oh,
last image. Oh,
wow,
what a great
look
one to
at
end
that.
with.
This was
Where is
gorgeous.
this?
Is back in Torres del Paine National Park. It's Lake, I'm going to say it wrong, Pihoe? Pihoe?
I can't correct you.
Yeah,
but-
P-E-H-O-E.
PHOE.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous spot. And there's like pebbles under the water there, but this was sunrise and look at those clouds. Like,
I
it
know.
was just
See?
beautiful.
So every now and
Yeah.
then, if you can do a
Yeah.
sunrise,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is what
that's
you're
what I
gonna
mean.
get.
Yeah, that's what you get. So
Mist all
it's
along
worth
the
it.
water as
The
well.
mist
Yeah.
is absolutely
Yeah.
stunning.
It was actually right up close before, but then the reflections
Wow.
came out
Yeah.
and it's just gorgeous.
High res.
Yeah,
Thanks, Gab.
this is a high res.
Oh, wonderful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
It's so easy to switch between
Yeah.
high res. Yeah,
Yes.
especially like it took me a while to find the button that you can just.
So,
I used to just always go into the menu
There's a
system, but
button
now,
for
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you just hit the record button and you're good to go. So.
Yeah, well, the fact that high res has gone from a 12-second process to a 5-second process means
Yeah.
that it can be on a button that's
Yeah.
accessible.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think, again, if people haven't used it and they're not really sure, it's on the top right there where
Yeah.
the video record button is. There,
Yeah.
Right now.
there, right there.
Yeah, and then
and
the
as I
little symbol
said,
just pops up.
The
Yeah.
process is less than halved in time. And so it's absolutely incredible that you can get,
Yeah.
you know, a build-up of images
Yeah.
from the sensor that gives you huge, great files, and you can do lots with them. So Mark says that one is a real beauty of a shot. Oh, thanks,
thank
Mark.
you.
That's lovely.
In these kind of shots, so I feel like nature's just doing all the work and I've just showed up to the party and just clicked.
But Mark says, I love to keep it simple process,
Yeah.
beautiful
Yeah.
shots. Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
absolutely do as well, you know.
Yeah.
It's just aperture priority. We do have, look, I do this and we do that.
Yeah.
Because there are some things, you know,
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
you know, you can or can't do. But the fact that you do keep it really
Yeah.
simple is lovely. So
Yeah.
my question is, where next? Where are you off to next?
Oh, it's tricky. I always say Japan because that's it's just such. I love Japan. I've been
We love
probably
Japan.
15, 16 times.
Put it on
I
the list.
just
I've been.
yeah.
I'll
I'll take you. Yeah. Yeah, especially in autumn. So I haven't planned it yet, but I think November I'll head back over.
Nice. Well, I suppose
Yeah,
from
it's just
Australia, it's
gorgeous.
quite easy
Yeah,
for you
exactly.
to jump
Yeah.
over to
It's nice and
Japan, though,
quick.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's so
such
many
a-
places. Like, it's a small country, but there's so much to explore, especially
Yeah.
nature-wise. Like,
Right.
I've done the cities, so I think
Going
doing some
out.
hikes and
Yeah.
wandering amongst the
Yeah,
nature
I
is
mean, it's
beautiful.
just the sort of down into the rice fields and down into sort of the west of the
Yeah,
country.
or even Kyushu, I think it is, has a lot of natural areas.
and a lot
so
of little islands. And,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
definitely wanna
that's
head back there.
The next,
Possibly
and where is
November,
there
yeah.
you've never been that you want to go?
Oh, well, I had
What's on the
Alaska
hit
on my
list?
list.
Oh,
The glaciers in
of course,
Alaska.
yeah.
Of
and
course,
the bears. And, yeah, I think Alaska and Svalbard are my two.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, I think further off in Greenland as well. Yeah, so I've done Disco Bay area quite a lot. So I think I want to go further up and into the
Yes.
Northwest Passage
Yeah.
and polar bears.
Oh, it's going to be
Narwhals, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they will be like amazing trips once they're sort of up and
Yeah.
about.
That's my wish
And-
list for next year. I think.
Yes, I think. Yeah, I mean, so do you go what 3, 4, 5 times a year away?
Yeah, this year's been about 6 or 7 trips, I
Right.
think, but usually around that actually. But I plan very last minute. Do you? I'm pretty bad, yeah.
But do you not normally do workshops? Do you join workshops, or do you take people
usually
with you as well?
Yeah, but even
Last
that, yeah,
minute?
sometimes, yeah.
Who wants to come to
the tours
Alaska?
I'm
Going
yeah.
next week to Alaska.
Anyone
in?
want to come to Alaska?
with it.
Yeah, usually I'm a bit better with the tours because I know people need to take time off. But
Right.
yeah, we'll see. Maybe Greenland again next year.
Wow.
So yeah, we'll see.
I said, how many
go.
times have I
Let's go.
mentioned to you Greenland?
Yeah.
Literally.
She's
It's like,
already
Iceland
booked it.
been, done that. I'd love to go.
I want to hike to the ice
Reserved
sheet, so we need to start
space.
training now. And then,
Yeah, okay.
As
Drop
long as I
me in
don't
by
have to share a
helicopter.
room with Claire.
oh,
Share a tent, everyone.
Tent? Yeah.
Not sharing a room.
Tent, son,
No,
tent.
not with you.
John says, my sort of photography, plan and execute without complicating it. Thank you for sharing with us.
oh, thanks, John.
Fantastic.
Oh, that is wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We've had an
Thank
amazing
you so
time.
much.
I
I'm
know,
so good. This is so
finally.
exciting.
Sit next to someone on the sofa.
I know. It's like
Yeah.
all the
Wait,
way
are we
from
really?
Australia.
No. Okay.
Yeah, this is just
She's
like
here.
a
This
Gav's
is not-
done some magic, and there's
AI is
Michelle's actually in. Lisa's actually in Australia.
So usually we've got earpieces in and we're listening. It's nice not to have to wear headphones.
Yeah, well,
No,
thank you so much.
much.
Oh, honestly,
been a
really,
pleasure.
really
It has.
pleased. It's been
Yeah.
amazing.
If you
finally.
don't follow Lisa, then go and follow her on Instagram and watch her amazing adventures, and maybe go on one of her trips as well, because Claire and I will be there right next year.
We're in all the
Greenland.
in my mind, I'm on in all the trips.
We are on all of them. November, we're going away. Japan.
Oh, I
I'll see you there.
So, yes. So, what's coming up, Claire? What's any notifications from your side?
David is going live
Oh,
tonight.
yes. What time? 7, I think.
That's a great question.
But he's got a Tech Thursday, and it's all about live composites. So, as I said earlier, we're just starting to come into that when it's a little bit darker earlier, so you don't have to wait until 10 o'clock at night to go out and take some pictures. Winter's coming, yes.
Unless you live in Australia.
And so,
Summer.
Summer's coming.
yeah, unfortunately it's colder, but it does mean you can get those night photography sessions started earlier.
Yeah.
Because it's darker earlier.
Absolutely.
So
And David will be here this evening. to
all
talk
about live composite.
comp.
So throw your questions at him. There's
we are.
lots of stuff coming up.
Loads of stuff coming up. You've got an Ask Me Anything coming up at the end of September.
Yes, and we've also got some amazing Zooms. We've got one with Andrew McCarthy.
I love Thomas's face on
I
that
know,
one
he's
there.
great,
He's
isn't
great.
he? We've got one with Tesney, Wildlife. We've also got one with David Tippling. So there's loads and loads of things coming up. So keep your eyes out on the events page. What about Park Cameras? I'm at Park Cameras next
there,
Saturday
yes.
for their
If
Wildlife
you're in
Day.
the UK, go and see
Come and
Claire.
say hello. There'll also be some deals and offers on, so come and see us.
Absolutely. And keep remembering to tag us on Instagram in your pictures. We love to see them. And we feature Friday favourites every week on all of our Instagram channels. So got to be in it to win it.
We will be back next month. We have another.
You keep saying that.
because we've already
we
booked
said
it.
that in
No,
February.
because we booked it.
We said that in... Oh.
So we've actually already. Did you hear that? Did you? We've got a new.
We've
guest
got microphones on.
Yeah, I said it in her ear. I don't think you'd have heard it. If you heard it, put it in the tags. We have got a new guest coming next month. None of you will have seen this person.
Oh, she's never been on Coffee with
No,
Claire. Oh, I
no.
said she. Oh.
Oh,
They've
They.
never been on Coffee with
so
Claire.
that's going to be exciting. And again, lots of new stories to tell and new adventures with Micro Four Thirds system. So we're really looking forward to that.
Brilliant. Thank you for joining. Lisa, thank you for coming.
thank you
It's
so much
been
for having
amazing.
Thank you to Gavin and Sam for producing as always. Lovely to see you, and we'll
See
see
you
you again soon. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
We can't hear the music, but it's there.